Hi friend, it's Amy Tangerine. I'm in the studio. This is my Commonplace notebook that I have not decorated the cover for. It's falling apart a little bit. And I wanted to show you the process of how I get over creative blocks and sort of some insights on how to get things down on paper. You can see that it's torn apart a little bit because it's lovingly used. And at first, I wasn't going to decorate the cover, but in sitting there and staring at it, I decided to address these things that have been sort of in the back, just hanging out. And instead of trying to stare at my supplies and not knowing what to do, I really believe the first step is just to do something. Start somewhere. Start wherever you are. Just make a mark, glue something in. I've been meaning to put this wild robot clipping from the newspaper in this book. It fits perfectly in here. I don't even have to add anything around it. I simply need to get started. So I added some glue to the back and I am going to stick it in here. Sometimes it's overwhelmed, sometimes it's not feeling in the mood. Whatever is keeping you or blocking you from taking creative chances or doing something creative for yourself, I really think that it starts with just doing something small. Okay, so that was really simple. The cover felt overwhelming to me, but now that I've gotten a little warmed up, I'm also taking this cut out from a bag, actually. It's from Sunright Boba Tea Studio. I'm not even sure what it's exactly called, but they have the best boba in my opinion. And I was given a bag because I think I had ordered 3 bobas and I didn't want to take one of those carriers, but they had a carrier in it anyway. So I cut up this bag and I just want to put it down on paper. So sometimes when I'm feeling uninspired or frustrated or creatively blocked or any kind of way that isn't truly how I want to feel, I'll grab my watercolors, I'll put some paints down on the paper like I did on the right side there. I'll journal. There's so many different ways that I get out of a funk, so to speak. I also think that there are all kinds of ways of infusing creativity into our everyday. So, what I like about the Commonplace book is that you're able to do a number of things. You can extract quotes from other places, you can get insights or inspiration from different things like napkins, and guess what? You get to decorate the book however you want. I skipped the first page as I always do. My notebooks and journals tend to start off really strong, very neat, colorful. I try to really focus on making sure my handwriting is good, but then I sort of let go a little bit. So I can show you more on that. But what I really want to share is that I have no idea what I'm doing when I start. I simply get started. And that's how I can get my creative juices flowing. I've simply taken some titanium white paint and I am spreading it around here because as I'm doing that, then I feel like the thoughts that aren't helpful to me subside. I feel as though there is more possibility ahead. I'm taking this acrylic paint that I know that I probably need to shake. It's old, yet also unopened, and there's this oily texture that tends to happen. I don't know if you have some acrylic paints that are inexpensive, but still in a good color, still in good shape. I'm taking it and just putting it down on paper because I know for myself and my mood, I feel uplifted when I'm able to make a mess and not really think about it. The only reason I actually turned on the camera is because I wanted to show you the process when I have no idea what I'm doing, and which is most of the time, by the way. I am taking this washi tape from Altenew. It's very old and it's very wide and it is a little difficult to use. And it could just be that we learned the hard way that washi tape has a shelf life and an expiration date. And sure, a lot of you so kindly reminded me that I could probably stick it in the microwave to reactivate the glue, but I haven't done that. And I'm not doing it here because look, my persistence has paid off. I've ripped it and look at all the pretty colors being revealed. I'm going to tear it off and leave some hanging so that I can at least have two pieces there the next time I want to use it. I'm simply tearing part of this off too, and I want to use this wide washi tape to mend the spine. I should also preface that I wasn't really taking care of this journal so much because I was taking it with me to a lot of places and having it in my bag, just kind of throwing it in there and not really sorry, did I say carrying or care? Anyway, I meant caring. I didn't really care about how the cover looked, or I just wasn't really, thinking about it much. And so that's probably why that happened. I still love this type of notebook. I still highly recommend it. It actually has Tomoe River paper in it, and I feel like the price point is very good. It is linked below along with some favorites from Amazon that I use as far as supplies go. I'm just flipping through here so that I can find a space for this piece of washi tape. Now, I tend to want to use my supplies now more and more, especially when they're in my hands. Ooh, look at how pretty that is. I love that. Making room and giving myself permission to put whatever I want on the cover and also inside the book is really freeing. And I hope that you find that to be true too. Now, because I have a little bit of blue on the front cover, I thought I would go ahead and put some paint on the back as well. I don't know if I'm using any fancy technique. Actually, I know that I'm not using any sort of technique. I don't even know if you would call this intuitive painting. I am simply getting the paint off of my paintbrush and trying not to waste some, putting it wherever I feel like putting it, and knowing that I'm probably going to cover a lot of this up. I'm looking through Paper Play and I found this page, which I just love because I think what I'm trying to do is create this sort of look on the cover, but I don't really have time to do it. So I'm simply going to tear out a part of it and add it to the cover with a glue stick. One of the reasons I came up with Paper Play was so that I could create backgrounds like this one, which was on an actual canvas that could then be used for collaging and allowing you to make it your own. Plus, the texture of the paint on the canvas really comes through, but you might not necessarily want that on a notebook because you wouldn't want it to be elevated or have that kind of dimension on an actual notebook cover. I hope that makes sense. So I'm tearing this piece. That sun would be really cute there, but I like the bottom with these dots. I really hope that you feel inspired to give yourself permission to play. Play with your supplies. Play with paper in a way that brings you joy. Adding some glue on the cover here, and instead of trimming this bit off, I think what I'm going to do is just simply fold it over so that it is on the back of the cover. You are allowed to do whatever makes you happy by tearing little bits and using your scraps. There's so much joy to be found in allowing yourself to play. I'm sure I'm not the only one that this resonates with, because I get comments all the time about how therapeutic it is for you to create and how much it affects your life in positive ways. Informally, tip number 4 is to take inspiration from magazines. This one has an ad on the back cover that caught my attention. As you are cutting things out, think about what you want to invite into your notebooks or journals. Look at the different sayings. You've only scratched the surface. Home, I love that font. There is a beauty that remains with us after we've stopped looking. Made to be prepared. Bring your creative vision. I took all kinds of inspiration and decided to make a printable because I really love this font. I combined 2 of the magazine cutout sayings that I clipped and decided that that would make the perfect unique cover. Like no other is a wonderful sentiment. It makes me feel as though this book is unique. We are all unique and have different creative gifts. I'm trying to cut this as straight as possible, made to be brilliant, and then I want to separate like no other near the bottom, taking the glue stick against some scrap cardstock so that I can get all around the edges. I may even put some gel medium on top of this to seal it, but I haven't decided. I wouldn't do that until the end anyway, but it looks, I don't know, kind of cool. Of course, I have to use different mediums, and I remembered I had this Heck Yeah sticker from my sticker book, so I'm going to add it at the bottom. It's my writing on a ribbon, and it's sort of confirming that this book is made to be brilliant, like no other. Heck yeah. I have a new product coming out that I'm so excited about. It is a set of clear stamps. I've actually got 3 sets of clear stamps coming out soon, very, very soon, probably in the next couple weeks. So I will keep you posted. Make sure you're signed up for our newsletter and you can be the first to know. These stamps are clear stamps made in the US, and they are so fun. You peel off the stamp and place it down. You do need an acrylic block, and you attach it like so. Let it be messy. I think you can kind of see it there. Now grab some ink. Any black ink will do. And dab, dab, dab. Ooh, that's going to be good. Now I'm going to grab the book and simply line it up to where I want it and press firmly down. Okay, let's see how this turns out. Yay! Let it be messy. It looks awesome. And now I'm actually going to clean off my stamp with a baby wipe, just the excess ink. And it's okay that you can see that it's stained a little bit. I learned from Jennifer McGuire that the best quality stamps do stain a little bit, but it doesn't actually affect your stamping. So I don't even know if it's called staining, but now I'm going to take Good for the Soul, same thing, stick it onto the acrylic block, dab, dab, dab onto the ink pad, and then stamp it right down here. All of this to say, use your supplies to do what feels right, what feels good for your soul. Take your supplies and transform a page in your Commonplace book or even the cover. The last step here is taking this asterisk or star and using this Tim Holtz Distress ink to add some detailing and some final touches. Let me know if you want to see a flip through in a future video, or if you have a favorite quote that you want to share so we can all write them down in our journals too. That would be amazing. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already and give this video a thumbs up. I hope you feel inspired to get those creative juices flowing. Oh look, this ink doesn't stain the stamp. So I think it just depends on the ink, but do not fret, as it doesn't affect the stamping or results either way. A little reminder that we are all a work in progress. I noticed this corner could use a little rounding, so that's the last step I'm taking for now. Until next time, friend, remember, you are made to be brilliant like no other.